The sailors had again hoisted sail, and the vessel was once more cleaving the waves. Through the darkness, Franz, whose eyes were now more accustomed to it, could see the looming shore along which the boat was sailing, and then, as they rounded a rocky point, he saw the fire more brilliant than ever, and about it 5 or 6 persons seated. The blaze illuminated the sea for 100 paces around. Gaetano skirted the light, carefully keeping the boat in the shadow. Then, when they were opposite the fire, he steered to the center of the circle, singing a fishing song of which his companion sung the chorus. At the first words of the song, the men seated around the fire arose and approached the landing place, their eyes fixed on the boat, evidently seeking to know who the newcomers were and what were their intentions. They soon appeared satisfied and returned, with the exception of one who remained at the shore, to their fire, at which the carcass of a goat was roasting. When the boat was within 20 paces of the shore, the man on the beach, who carried a carbine, presented arms after the manner of a sentinel, and cried, "Who comes there?" in Sardinian. Franz coolly cocked both barrels. Gaetano then exchanged a few words with this man, which the traveler did not understand, but which evidently concerned him. "Will your excellency give your name or remain incognito?" asked the captain. "My name must rest unknown," replied Franz. "Merely say I'm a Frenchman traveling for pleasure." As soon as Gaetano transmitted this answer, the sentinel gave an order to one of the men seated round the fire, who rose and disappeared among the rocks. Not a word was spoken. Everybody seemed occupied. Franz with his disembarkment, the sailors with their sails, the smuggler with their goat. But in the midst of all the carelessness, it was evident that they mutually observed each other. Womp womp womp. It's episode 365. You know what that means. It's been a year. I spent literally 6 months writing that song for you. I hope you appreciated it. Wow. 1 friggin' year of doing this show. Can you believe it? We are a quarter of the way through the book. We are a quarter of the way through 4 years here in America and the world. Let me start by just doing the typical commentary on what we read, and then I'm going to go, this is going to be a little bit longer of an episode, and I'm going to go into some stuff and things and thoughts and appreciations for y'all. So, what happens today? Franz continuing to approach Monte Cristo in the boat captained by Gaetano. I know I was going back and forth with my speculation as to whether or not Gaetano knew these folks on the shore or not. Again, there feels like this kind of subtle dramatic irony on the part of, or in regards to Franz, where like Gaetano is speaking in Sardinian to the people on the shore. They share a mutual language, whereas Franz cannot understand them, but he knows that whatever's being said is in regards to him. After they speak is when the captain says, "Are you cool with giving them your name, or do you want to remain on the DL?" And Franz is like, nah, don't you tell anyone who I am. Just say I'm a passing tourist. And Gaetano communicates this further to the people on the shore. So it seems like, is it just the fact that Gaetano is part of this world and can speak to sailors? Remember when Dante was escaping from the Chateau d'If, and it said that sailors knew certain signals that they can send to each other when in distress. There's just this shared language and culture that people at sea understand regardless of whether or not you know the other person. Is that what's going on here? Or is Franz being brought into some sort of trap, some sort of scheme that we don't know yet? Well, you know what? We don't know it, and therefore I can't say one way or the other. That's the weirdness of the show. I do like the other part that makes me a little suspicious, I should say, is that Gaetano is doing all of this, and while Franz, as it says here, right after Gaetano starts talking to the men on shore, Franz coolly cocked both barrels. So Franz is ready to defend himself if need be. Meanwhile, Gaetano is just singing a song. He doesn't seem too concerned about his approach to the island. And in fact, let me just reread this to y'all here. ... Gaetano steered to the center of the circle, singing a fishing song, of which his companions sung the chorus. At the first words of the song, the men seated round the fire rose, and approaching the landing place, fixed their eyes on the boat. So, like, he's singing loud enough for the men on the shore to hear him and know that it's a seaman that would apparently, that I would presume knows the song that is being sung. It's not just some casual passerby. So is it a way of indicating that they are just a friendly vessel? Or is it some sort of like code to let the people on shore know that it's, you know, them part of their crew? I don't know. I'm going real deep on this chapter. I apologize. It's probably not going to pan out to be literally anything. And it's going to end up just being me filling the time. What else? Anything else here? Franz is just stepping off the boat while all the men among the shore, the smugglers and their goat, they're all sitting down for some dinner for eating a kid. And by a kid, I mean a baby goat. Well, I guess I didn't say baby goat, just said goat. So just say goat, Landon. It was a goat. They were eating a goat. They're all eating a goat. It's dinner time. Okay, clearly I'm losing my mind because I am just chomping at the bit to get to the fun stuff, which is the 1 year celebration. All right, I'm not going to go into the song again. I have some big things I got to talk to you about. This is exciting. First and foremost, 1 year. We did it, folks. 1 year of our mission statement without missing a single day. Was some of those days a little bit late in the day getting the episode out? Maybe. Do we have to dwell on that? We didn't miss a day is the main point. That's the main point. No days were missed. 365 episodes. Holy cow. I've been podcasting for almost a decade now. Neither of my other shows have approached that number. In fact, I would say the entirety of the other two shows that I've hosted has not hit 365 episodes in total. So I have doubled my entire podcasting career in 1 year with this show. That's crazy to me. And I got some crazier stuff that's going to come up in just a second. Oh boy. I want to talk a minute about analytics. Oh my God, are your eyes glazing over? Listen, I work in a position in my daily life that has to do with analytics. I look at analytics a lot. I will say I'm terrible at math. I hate numbers. I hate math. I hate mathematics. I don't hate it. It's a good thing, right? It rules the universe, but I don't understand it at all. I can calculate a tip quickly, but if you ask me how to do long division, I don't know. I have no idea. I took algebra literally 3 times and failed it every single time. Took algebra well into college. I'm not good at math. I acknowledge that. What I love about analytics, though, is that it's not math. Folks, analytics aren't math. Analytics are storytelling, and that's what I love. That's what I'm good at. So I can look at analytics and read a story from them. And the story that is being told as I look at the first year of analytics for this show is something I can't quite wrap my head around. It's mind-blowing to me that as of this recording, we have passed 12,000 downloads across YouTube and the podcatchers. That's insane. I don't fully understand that. It makes me nervous to think my dumb old voice is reaching all of you right now. You are listening to me, and that's crazy. I'm quite literally in a closet I turned into a soundproof podcasting studio. I'm staring at toys and knickknacks and prints that I have accumulated my entire lifetime. Like, this is just this podcast studio is kind of just a interior bubble of my brain. And the fact that I'm sitting here talking aloud to myself, that's what it feels like sometimes. I mean, when I'm in the middle of recording, that's what it feels like. But the fact that it's not just me, it's all of you it's one of those things that just you can't quite. I don't think it's possible to quite comprehend. I can't imagine 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 of you in this room with me. That doesn't make any sense. So, thank you, though. I mean, as much as I don't understand it, doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. And I do deeply, deeply appreciate the fact that you're all here, that you're all listening, and sticking with it. I know sometimes you dip in, you dip out, you catch up. That is totally understandable for a daily podcast. I get it. But we are growing, and that's all thanks to you. I do very little promotion for this show outside of, putting it out daily. I have a few flyers hanging around Madison, Wisconsin. But beyond that, most of the promotion is done by you all. And the fact that we have gotten this far, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and know that we can grow even further. With all of the new listeners that we have, this is evidence that your effort for sharing the show, rating and reviewing the show, getting the word out actually works. So what a great way to celebrate the 1 year mark. Now for the fun stuff. I mean, analytics are fun for me, but the fun stuff for you. Okay. This is what I'm going to pivot to next. Small announcement. I have decided to, in my personal time, for myself, read The Three Musketeers. I am already, as of this recording, halfway through. I think by the time you are hearing this recording, I will be done having read The Three Musketeers. Side note, remember that collection of Dumas books I got earlier this year, or last year, I guess? The ones from 1901, the really cool set. At first, I thought that The Three Musketeers wasn't included. But it is included. It's just called The Three Guardsmen, and I overlooked it. I need to do a little bit of research on the title change. But the point being, I decided to read The Three Musketeers, A, because I'm enjoying Monte Cristo so much that I wanted to see what it's like to actually read Dumas as it was intended to, i.e., all the way through in one sitting. Well, not one sitting, but you know what I mean? Like, not over the course of 4 years. So there's that. And I will go in future episodes into a little bit more of my experience reading The Three Musketeers that way. Also, and I learned this while reading The Three Musketeers, it also was serialized in newspapers and magazines the way that Count of Monte Cristo was. It was serialized from March to July 1844. And if you remember, the Count of Monte Cristo started to be serialized in August of 1844. That means there was zero time between the two works. And that has given me a lot of insight, but also helps me to see the similarities, the differences between the two stories. They are very different in tone, despite both being historical novels, granted of different eras. But I can't wait to see how what I've learned of The Three Musketeers applies to my insight for the Count of Monte Cristo. There's also going to be an announcement coming soon. I know an announcement for an announcement within an announcement. What am I even doing? I have no idea. But be on the lookout in the next month or two for a big announcement regarding The Three Musketeers and Alexandre Dumas. I hope it's going to be fun for all of you who enjoy, how do I want to phrase this? Who enjoy watching Three Musketeers adaptations. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, now, the big announcement. What? The Three Musketeers wasn't the big announcement? No, it was not. It was not the big announcement. Here's the big announcement. I've been talking to a lot of people. I put it out on Discord. I've asked the question, what do we want to do for the 1 year anniversary to celebrate? And it's this episode. We're getting it. This is how we're celebrating. So everyone sit down, smile, remember that you're not alone. We're all reading this together. We're going to get through it. I'm committed to the end. Hooray. There we go. We celebrated. There were some great ideas out there, by the way. Ones that I think require, some of them that I thought were fantastic ideas, but would require a bit more research than I feel like I could give expert weigh in on. Someone wanted to know a deeper dive on the Chateau d'If, a real place with a real history. And I'm not closing that idea down. I just didn't feel like I could accomplish it before the 1-year anniversary. So I will continue to do research on that place and provide some new information as I come across it, or I'll do a special episode in the future on that. Other people have requested certain short stories to be read on the Patreon, which I'm also very open to, and I appreciate all of your suggestions. And I will explore doing those in the future. But I also wanted this 1-year anniversary to be something that everybody, not just Patreon subscribers, to be able to partake in. And so here we are, the big announcement. I have decided, you know what? I don't feel like I could do it justice. I'm just going to let this speak for me. So, enjoy. Welcome to Odyssey, a daily odyssey through Homer's The Odyssey, and more. Yes, that title is a mouthful, but so is the Odyssey. Here we are going to read one page of Homer's The Odyssey every single day for an entire year. That's 365 episodes. Some pages are short, some pages are long. None of them stop in the middle of the sentence because I do have some standards. So if you've ever thought I should really read the Odyssey someday, congratulations, today is that day. And so is the next 364. Each episode is going to start with a reading followed by my commentary. Sometimes that means unpacking the story, sometimes it means Greek mythology, sometimes it means spiraling into whatever tangent the text divinely inspires me that day. We are going to be reading The Butcher and Lang English translation, not the epic poem you were threatened with in high school. This one just reads better out loud, and it's in the public domain, which allows me to legally do this. So you can read along on YouTube where the text appears on screen, or you can download the same translation from Project Gutenberg. I've loved Greek mythology my entire life. Somehow, I've never actually read the Odyssey all the way through. I know the big moments, I don't know the order, I don't know the context, I don't even really know how it ends. So this show is finally fixing that. New episodes drop every single day: rain, sleet, snow, holidays, hubris, Hydra attacks. Subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get podcasts. Do not make me send Athena to force your finger to press subscribe. I'll see ya on episode 1. Okay, goodbye. Odyssey is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. The show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Odyssey, written by Homer. Theme song by Neuroflow. You can support this show and other shows like it by going to patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow. That's right. I have decided, because I have enjoyed this experience of breaking down and going deep on the Count of Monte Cristo so much, and Alexandre Dumas so much, that I wanted to apply it to a lifelong passion of mine, which is Greek mythology. So we are going to be doing the Odyssey in a completely separate show, day after day, reading the entirety of Homer's The Odyssey for 1 year. It's not going to be the 4-year mission of this show. So starting today, you can go over to Odyssey, a daily odyssey through Homer's The Odyssey, and more, in any of your podcatchers or on YouTube. Subscribe, share, all of the things. In this early stage, it's really important to get those shares, subscribes, ratings, and reviews so that the algorithms can see that a new show has arisen that might be of interest to others. Will I say here that am I doing it because of Christopher Nolan's movie coming out later this year? Maybe. Maybe I'm doing that. But you know what? I'm not being just opportunistic. The Odyssey was on my short list of books to do following the Count of Monte Cristo. So It's something I'm passionate about. It's something I was planning on potentially doing anyway. The opportunity just presented itself, and I thought, you know what? I've got the workflow down pat for this show. I can apply it to another one. So I hope if you enjoy this show, you'll also enjoy following me along as we go through Homer's The Odyssey. I promise it's not going to affect this show. It's just an additional thing for you to enjoy, to love, to share, or hate, whatever. I'm not here to tell you how to experience things in life. But if you hate it, maybe don't listen to it. That's, just good life advice, I think. So, well, that's all I have for the 1 year marker here. A bit longer of an episode. I hope it was satisfactory, but I know you're not here just to celebrate 1 year anniversaries. You're here to listen to this amazing story called The Count of Monte Cristo, and we're going to continue to do that every single day for 3 more years, folks. You can help me do that by contributing over at patreon.com/gruntworkpod. I'm not going to go into the full rigmarole today, but just wanted to remind you. And we still have some big things to discuss this chapter. Remember the mystery that I told you about earlier? Yeah, I haven't even revealed that yet. So we aren't done by a long shot. Join me here tomorrow as we continue forth into Chapter 31, Franz's adventure towards the island of Monte Cristo. Until then, okay, hello! The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.